The yellow jersey Annemiek van Vleuten has one, two, at least three bike changes during the final stage of the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift. We're in the Alsace region still, and this finishes on the Super Planche de Belfi. We saw this on stage 7 of the men's Tour de France. What was it, almost 3 weeks ago? Feels like a lifetime ago. It's the same finish. 7K is about 8.5%. The overall stage was easier than the stage yesterday, which was extremely difficult. There was still the Ballon d'Alsace, which was 9Ks at about 6.5%, but there was a decent valley before the final climb. The break took a little while to form, with Van Vleuten on the front herself with no teammates, with Trek getting riders in the break, with I think Thomas, Royackers getting the break for Kenya Schramm, Grace Brown, Liana Lippert, Marcus for Jumbo-Visma, and Patino for Movistar up the road, even though Van Vleuten's on the front by herself. And yeah, would she be a satellite rider later? Was she just going for the stage? Eventually, Van Vleuten does have reinforcements before the first bike change. I don't know if she had a flat. She was originally on the Canyon without the full yellow livery, but with like yellow tape. She goes on a teammate's bike, and then caught on Rago's looking back like, what's going on? Should I pace? SD Works not pacing immediately. Van Vleuten's in like G2, G3. Kopecky goes to front, and she starts pacing, and this group is a little bit ahead of Annemiek van Vleuten, and suddenly SD Works decide to go for GC after almost the first 6 stages not going for GC, with Van Vleuten chasing back herself, getting to her teammates of 2. Vollering's got her teammates on the front pushing hard, and Van Vleuten's got some spare bikes on the car, as you can see there, in the full yellow livery, and she's now got one teammate left. Majerus for SD Works gets called back from the break. She's pushing hard. Then Trek get involved with Balsamo and European champion Ellen van Dijk, whilst Van Vleuten is pacing herself. So this could have been disaster for her. Fortunately, Ballon d'Alsace started sooner rather than later, where she has the advantage on absolutely everybody, and in pretty short order she was able to pace back that group with Vollering, and Vollering didn't really have anyone to pace, like no one on her team, I think Moolman was unwell, could pace hard enough to keep Van Vleuten behind, so she caught back really, really fast, but then says, I need to change bikes because I'm on my teammate's bike and I'm not sure it fitted. So she then changed bike. This was pretty relaxed. She didn't seem particularly stressed. Still, best part of 8Ks left to go on the climb. So she goes back from the Voss green jersey group back up to the peloton, now on the full yellow job. And Evita Muzic attacks because everyone else, when Van Vleuten returns, like, no point in pacing. Royackers is pacing the group ahead. And then another bike change. This time to the one with just the yellow accents on the handlebar tape. And Vollering's like, I'm not waiting anymore. She starts pacing with Van Vleuten behind him. Van Vleuten comes back, and Ludwig Longoborghini there. Vollering tries a first attack with just over 2.5 Ks to go on the climb. The breakout 111, she's caught. Then she tries again closer to the finish. Maybe she was worried about QOM points because the breakaway was still up the road, but I don't know, the GC group kind of relaxed and let that break take a gap out again with Mavi Garcia leading it before Vollering tried on the descent. This is where she definitely was better than Van Vleuten, probably all race. You see Van Vleuten already sliding back on this descent. Vollering was pushing it pretty hard and nearly got a gap, and there were little splits opening up, and maybe if she had a teammate up the road, it could have made a difference. There is a decent valley before the last climb, but didn't happen. Van Vleuten stayed in contact, and so both groups, the breakaway and the GC group, kind of chilled in the valley for a little bit. Eventually, Trek pacing before Super Planche, bringing the gap down to 34 seconds, with Mavi Garcia looking the strongest in the breakaway before the climb started. And here it is. It's a really nasty climb. Royak has started it a bit hard, and it's got that super steep gravel finish. Ludwig, Lebu, Lisa Longoborghini, could they put Nuviadoma under pressure for third place? They were all within about 2.5 minutes. The answer was no, and in terms of the first place and the stage win, Van Vleuten goes. She attacks with over 6Ks to go in the climb. Vollering can't immediately respond. Van Vleuten's on the radio, mid-attack, saying, I've attacked, I presume, or she's talking to Patino because she has a teammate up the road who starts to pace for her. And I'm not sure how much it helps psychologically. It definitely helps having a teammate pace. and that extended the gap for Van Vleuten out to 20 seconds pretty quickly over Vollering. She goes past Mavi Garcia and holds it pretty well for the entirety of this climb. But Vollering didn't hard crack either. She did a really, really solid performance, and she was good on the first climb yesterday. Petit Ballon too. In terms of third place, Ludwig didn't look like she was able to contest that. She'd slide from 5th to 7th on GC because the impressive Juliette Lebeau's looking, I think, where's Ludwig, was able to move up a couple of spots, with Ludwig having a tough time on Super Planche de Belfi. Nuvia Dome was just steady pacing because she's just trying to maintain third, and the stage win with Van Vleuten up the road is absolutely gone. So an incredibly impressive performance from Van Vleuten across the last 2 days. Today she had some bad luck, and she dealt with it admirably and still won the stage in the yellow jersey. By far and away the best GC rider in this year's Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift. Unfortunate that Cavalli crashed out, but even so, Van Vleuten seems to be another level. Good performance as well from Vollering. She was clearly the second best. And Nuvia Domo, I think it was a well-deserved third on GC too. But in terms of the stage, Persico actually came third, with Nuvia Domo fourth, and Lebeau Longoborghini was quite a good performance in seventh. Then Ludwig, Mavi Garcia, and Lippert rounding out the top 10. Here's what Van Vleuten had to say after the stage.
Yeah, that's actually a dream that comes true. Winning in yellow on the top. Wow. And it was not an easy stage. So it was not an easy week. It's been a super big roller coaster for me. And even today it was not easy. But finish here in yellow solo. The best way. I'm super proud to be the first winner of the Tour de France for the women. To have it back on the calendar, and then again the first women to win it in this new version. Wow, and I hope it's a big start for more, and that we can build this event to a bigger event for the women, also men and women. But I think it's a milestone to win the first one of this, and hopefully for way more events of this.
So that's the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift done. I hope you enjoyed the race. Van Vleuten, Vollering, Nuvia Doma on the podium. Vollering takes the QOM jersey, Vos the points jersey, Van Anrooy the youth classification. It was a great first edition. I hope you enjoyed all the videos. Let me know if you did in the comments down below, and I guess I'll see you with, I don't know, something at a later date. Ciao.